Okay. Um, we I wore those slap bracelets. Do you remember those? So I felt one a while back at work, and my inner child came out, and I just really kept messing with it. So I looked at my boss, and I was like, "Please get this away from me. My inner child is gonna play with this all night." I'm not lying. I wore butterfly clips. Do you guys remember those things? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen a butterfly clip in so long. Um, Also, I was the remote. Like we had those TVs that you had to get up and go change yourself. You didn't have the remote. You Hello. Welcome to Sassy Southern Belle. We are on episode 12, and today we are talking about being raised in the 90s and early in the 2000s. I am a millennial with on the cusp of a Gen Z. So, no wait, Gen X, my bad. Whatever generation it is. Anyway, if you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. Help a girl out. Mm. I am just now getting off a shift work, so I don't know when this episode's going to be recorded, so I look like crap right now, and I do apologize. But let's talk about some things that I did as a child that would offend so many parents today. For example, played outside. Heaven forbid we all play outside today. I didn't play, I was forced to play outside, but some days, but it's just I was part of that generation, honestly. Um, we had to hang clothes out to dry. For those of you that know, you washed your clothes, but you did not want that run that dry because that ran up the electricity bill. We went mudding. I love the days when we get the Fuller out and just go mud riding with each other. We would always have to hose down before we came back inside, but you know, it was fun of being a kid, be having fun. We made mud pies. You weren't a kid if you didn't make a mud pie. I'm sorry, but you just weren't. Um, we ate the mud pies that we made, and we also ate dirt. Didn't kill us. We're still here today. We're all doing perfectly fine. Well, may not be your definition of fine, but we're all doing fine. We rode four wheelers. I mean, for crying out loud, I loved riding four wheelers. Like, I- there was like you like that need for speed and everything else, and just riding around in the hayfield and everything else. Come on now, y'all. I'm just a country bumpkin from middle of nowhere, Alabama. So now I live in Tennessee. Country girl at heart. Um, I rode bicycles. Like, do I honestly don't know if I still know how to ride a bicycle or not. Every time I go to the gym, I ride those things, so it can't be too hard. But anyway, we actually spoke to our neighbors. We had church on Sundays. Um, Church on Sundays were a must. I lived with my grandparents most of my childhood, and we went to church every Sunday, rain or shine. Did not matter. The only time you got out of it if you were truly sick, and some truly sick or dying. So you better be dying for you to miss church. We rest on Sundays. Like Sundays, we did not work. Like my grandparents would tell us to just go play, have fun, and relax. Okay. Um, I wore those slap bracelets. Do you remember those? So I felt one a while back at work, and my inner child came out, and I just really kept messing with it. So I looked at my boss, and I was like, "Please get this away from me. My inner child is gonna play with this all night." I'm not lying. I wore butterfly clips. Do you guys remember those things? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen a butterfly clip in so long. Um, I was the remote. Like we had those TVs that you had to get up and go change yourself. You didn't have the remote. You were the remote. Um, we played on the spin. You guys remember the little spin phones? Yeah, like it wasn't really working. It was an older phone. We had a different type of phone, but still, like me and my sister would spin around the numbers and act like we were calling somebody. We were kids. What more do you expect from us? Um, we talked into a fan. Are you guys like? Are you really living as a kid if you did not talk into a fan like a robot at least once? This one hits no. I took pictures on disposable cameras. Money I will never get back. Memories that last a lifetime, though. I don't miss those days, though. I love my digital camera. I still take pictures with a digital camera. Um, We had to memorize our house number and address for crying out loud. Like, you were screwed if you did not know, like, where you lived. And this is also, I come from a generation where you didn't have to be so vigilant. So, like, our grandparents, I was also taught in that generation to defend myself. I had male cousins for crying out loud. So, of course, we joked around. Yes, I was a bit of a tomboy mixed with a girly girl. So, yeah. I played on the Wii, I played on the PlayStation, I played with on Nintendo. Um, Now, our login screen looked completely different. Like, we had the early version of the 2000s login screen on a computer. And it wasn't like the computers we have today, it was like the fat computers. Yeah. I wore a banana clip for crying out loud. Um, I went barefoot and buck wild. I still go barefoot. I hate shoes with a passion. Um, Music videos actually had class. Some of you probably gonna come at me, but I don't give a rat's patooey. There was You didn't have to worry about women dressing out of line and all of that. Like they actually covered themselves up. Um, I listened to the radio. Like this was before ads and commercials and everything else. My favorite my favorite part was calling in a song to play on the radio. And everything. Something else. Oh, you had to be at the bus stop by a certain time to catch the bus. If you did not, you found out real quick, like what would happen if you missed that bus on purpose. Um, there was one morning I did, and I really wanted to finish watching my cartoon, and my grandparents got on to me because I missed the bus, and they had to use gas that they didn't have to take us to school. I felt bad after that. I didn't realize that at the time, but I do feel bad about it. Funny when you're a kid, you think about that. You don't think about that kind of stuff. Um, until you're older, then you grow up fast and you start to think about all that stuff. Um, go into the GoCo, dial up internet, renting a video from the store. That was always the fun part. Like going to the Blockbuster and just renting a movie. When it got sunset, that means it was time to go home. We didn't have parents calling us. I also went hunting and fishing for crying out loud. Um, Also, and I was part of that generation where you messed around and found out. Some of these people today, they're not from that generation, and it shows. Um, but what do I miss most about the 90s and 2000s and early 10s? Our toys were better quality, video games were better, technology was more durable. It's not like our phones where we drop our phone, it breaks automatically. We had CD players. I remember saving up just to get a CD to have some Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera. Yes, I was a Britney girl, and NSYNC was my band. Um, our headphones were also indestructible too. I also miss Momo making biscuits and gravy. Um, I said this. Being part of that mess around and find out generation. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A lot of people are catching hate for for being part of that generation, or letting your kids figure out what happened. I think it works honestly. Kids need to know what happens when you mess around and find out. Um, Cartoons. Our cartoons were so much better than the ones we have today. Um, Movies were a whole lot better. Y'all hate all you want, but you know it's true. TV shows were better. The music. Church on Sundays. I also miss being unreachable. Now it's like you have my location for some whatever reason, but I don't want. If I want to go off the grid, I have to do a technology detox. Um, MTV actually played music videos. My favorite part is movie theaters where tickets were cheap. Like I remember we had this one room movie theater that I love to go to. The fashion was modest. Um, it's like we didn't have women showing their cleavage all the time, so um, you knew what Sundays meant. And you could run into the gas station and pay for gas without somebody questioning anything. Okay, here's some things that I don't miss. Shoulder pads. Never again. So happy that part that has stayed away. Bangs. Looking back at some old middle school pictures, I'm like, I'm so happy those bangs are no longer happening. Because I thought about getting bangs again, but why do I have this loose hair? I went squirrel brain for a minute, sorry. Um, Bell bottoms. Okay, hear me out. They're cute on children, but not adults. Again, they're cute on children, but not adults. Here are some things that have made a comeback. Um, Bell bottoms. I stand by my statement. Cute on children, not on adults. Bangs. If you can, okay, here's my thing on bangs. If you can style it properly, you know what you're doing, excellent. The mullet. Why did that have to come back? Why? Why? My favorite thing that came back is the overalls. I love overalls. They're so comfortable. I have this pair I wear every 4th of July. That's so comfortable and everything. Now, I thought I'd end this episode with some questions, see if I can answer some of them. Hmm. All right. Okay, here's the first question. What is a floppy disk? Basically, a floppy disk was the OG version of a jump drive or a SIM card, basically. If I had to put it in layman's terms for the new generation watching today. Um, what is a Walkman? It's a portable tape player and CD player, basically. What is AOL? The earliest form of internet. Email, basically. What is a beeper? It's this annoying thing that when people needed you to call, they would call dial that, and you had to go find the nearest phone to call them. Um, who is Lisa Frank? Oh my gosh, if you Lisa Frank was an icon, especially for children. Like I remember getting like the little scratchy things and just coloring and everything else. What is uh what is a pager? Yes, that pager is important. Um, what is a Tamagotchi? Tamagotchi. It's something that everybody wanted. Okay, what would someone use star 69 for when making a phone call? Prank calling. Easy peasy. They couldn't trace your number or a number wouldn't show up. Okay, who wrote the series Goosebumps? I actually forgot this one. Is it R.L. Stein? Let's look it up real quick. Don't hate. I know I'm supposed to be from the 90s, but my brain is on math that my brain is tired, guys. Please don't hate me. Yeah, I was right, R.L. Stein. I did know it. I just didn't. My brain just didn't want to remember it. Um, what is a bop it? So basically, it was this toy that you had to bop. Basically, self-explanatory, actually. Um, what group wrote Who sang the popular song "Waterfalls"? TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Listen to. Okay, I'm not gonna do that to you. What is a VHS? That's basically a tape where you had to stick it in a VHS player, and you had to be careful, and then you had to go through it and restart it, rewind it to go back to the beginning so you could watch it. It was a whole process. Um, what is a VCR? This is what we put our tape or VHS in. What is a fur bait? Okay. And what city did the show Full House take place in? San Francisco. Wake up, San Francisco. What are Beanie Babies? Collectibles, really. I'm trying to think, what is the thing today that would compare to a Beanie Baby? If y'all can think about it, let me know. What is Blockbuster? Basically, you had to go long before Netflix and all this. You actually had to go into a store, pick out a movie, and rent it, and you had to pay the fine if it was late. What is a typewriter? A typewriter is basically typing. Basically, you type it all out, and then there's your paper right there. What are the yellow pages used for? Phone. Everybody's phone numbers, really. Oh, what is a pest dispenser? I remember when I was a kid, I would take the candy from the pest dispenser, and I would say, "Oh, these are my pills I'm taking." Um, who was Princess Diana? I think this one's pretty obvious at this point. Do I really need to answer that? What is a yo-yo? So a yo-yo is basically this little round thing with a string on it, and you had the luxury of making it bounce and all of that, and doing these weird, fun tricks with it. And they even had yo-yo tournaments, believe it or not. And basically, if you were stupid enough or not paying any attention, that yo-yo could basically bounce back and give you a black eye. Do you have the embarrassing story? Say, "Oh, I got hit with a yo-yo." True story. Um, what is My Little Pony? Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite cartoons growing up. What is a walkie-talkie? So basically, a walkie-talkie. You guys remember the links, right? If you're watching this, it's kind of like that, but before the links. Oh, here's a good one. What is a landline? Basically, it's these things we had before cell phones, where you had to learn your house number, and that's how you call somebody. Um, what does the three W's in URL mean? Well, World Wide Web. Let's see. The Etch a Sketch was fun. The Polly Pockets. MySpace was the earliest form of social media. It was also a place where you get to tea whenever you had your top five people, and whenever you go back later, and that person's not on there. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah, um, what are the names of the characters in Friends? Oh, I'm gonna see if I can do this. Okay, Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Ross, Chandler, Joey. Rest in peace, Matthew Perry. Gunther. No, is it Gunther? Gunter. Emily. They did Emily wrong on that. I will stand by that statement. Um, okay. Okay, what are the names of the four main female characters in Sex and the City? Charlotte, Carrie, Miranda, and oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Who does Kim Cattrall play? Whoever Kim Cattrall's character is, I cannot think of the name now for some reason to save my life. Um, who sang the song Ice Ice Baby? Vanilla Ice. What famous actor stars in The Fresh Prince? Will Smith. Now he's canceled. What is the theme song for Friends? Oh my gosh, I can't not sing it, guys, so I feel bad. It's I'll be there for you whenever you need me, whenever you want me. I'll be there for you. Um, I didn't sing other than besides it's very weird. Okay, which actor hosted the show Punked? Ashton Kutcher. What is Silly Putty? This was basic. Silly Putty was or pre-slime. You know how we have slime today? Silly Putty walked so slime could run, basically, if we had to put a label on it. But yeah. But that is it for this episode. Um, join me next time as we talk about who knows what on Sassy Southern Belle. But I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day.